This is Life's Dream number 97, Colorado High.
Colorado High.
Late night station turned on, tires in the rain. The eagles ride beside you to the highway's old refrain. The night can last forever, as fast as you can go. Listening to the midnight radio. Listening to the midnight radio. Late night cafe coffee, pour yourself a cup. Not a soul is in the place, you're the only one who's up. Tired and lonely, with hours more to go. For company, that midnight radio. Listening to that midnight radio. In bed but just not sleepy, in love but all alone, too tired to write a letter, too late to use the phone. Smile and turn the dial to a station that you know. Salvation on that midnight radio. Salvation on that midnight radio.
right.
I think we could go. What?
The Midnight Radio.
I think we could go to story time.
All right, we'll go right away to story time.
Please.
See you
Now.
over there. Did you film that, I hope?
Yeah.
Oh, crap. Yes, I was saying.
Story time. It's her story. She wrote it, and then I rewrote it, but she hasn't read it.
No.
So, yeah, okay.
Okay. Story time.
But this is an unusual story time because while we are telling this story, Holly is literally getting her vaccination, and I am waiting in the car downstairs at Northwestern while this is actually going on.
Right.
So you guys are all on your own this time.
That's right. We won't be there, but you will. But we won't be there.
Yeah, but in some form.
In some form.
Some form, we're here right now. Okay.
Story time.
Yeah.
Colorado High. Corky was on tour in Colorado.
What number is this?
Oh, let me try this again.
You don't have to try again. Just-
Okay, story time, Colorado High, Life's Dream number 97.
Okay.
Corky was on tour in Colorado. The plan was for me to drive his new suburban SUV and meet him for a ski holiday in Aspen Snowmass, and then we'd drive back together. An old friend of Corky's, we'll call him Bruno, a big, burly car racing enthusiast and avid skier. And to get a little idea about this fellow, he'd mostly just head straight down the hill when he skis. I mean, why turn if you don't have to? Well, he insisted that he come along as driver and protector. Bruno boasted that he would pick me up super early and that he would do all the driving and that we could easily make the 18-and-a-half-hour trip in one go. He boasted of having all the accoutrements, special Kid Lamb driving gloves, special goggles, sunglasses, race driving shoes, and he would arrive in the ready to drive this marathon first thing in the morning.
He was ready to go.
Corky felt it wasn't wise to drive straight through, and he was also worried about someone else's driving habits, like a friend who used to fall asleep at the wheel all the time, a friend who is not around anymore.
Yeah, true story.
So Corky said no to Bruno. No, please. Take it easy and please take 2 days to get here. Bruno insisted he could make it easily in one shot. He said, "I'm no Whimpy Pants," a phrase you would hear him utter now and again. But on Corky's insistence, Bruno said, well, he would play it by ear and decide with me when we arrived in Lincoln, Nebraska, if we should stop halfway or not. Corky wasn't completely happy with this, but he said, okay, knowing I would have a vote in this also. Bruno finally showed up at our house to pick me up for this super early departure as he had promised. But I guess for him, super early was 1 p.m. This should have been a clue for the shape of things to come. Bruno made us some nice sandwiches and snacks so we wouldn't have to stop for lunch. But it was already past lunch. I had already eaten my lunch. Well, we hit the road around 1 p.m. Bruno asked if I might just drive a short way while he ate his sandwich. Of course, fine. The next thing I heard was loud snoring. He continued to sleep in a deep sleep. He wasn't stirred by my stopping for gas. and his sleep wasn't disturbed by anything at all. Finally, at 10 p.m., we pulled into a Holiday Inn just past Lincoln, Nebraska. I shook Bruno and said, "We're here, we're here. We're stopping." He said, oh, are we in Snowmass?
He really said that. This is a true story.
He really said that.
It's a true story.
I said, "No, we're in Nebraska. I'm tired and we are stopping." Embarrassed, he said, "Well, I'll drive the whole way tomorrow." I called Corky from my hotel room to let him know that we were in Nebraska. Corky asks, "Well, how was Bruno's driving? Is he a safe driver?" "Yes, he seemed very safe. Since he slept the whole way and I did all the driving." Corky couldn't believe it. After all of Bruno's crowing and his leather gloves and his goggles and his racing shoes. After breakfast, I wasn't too excited about learning firsthand about Bruno's driving habits, as I saw him sleep the whole way to Lincoln. So I just told him I would drive just a bit till I got tired. You guessed it, the loud snoring began and continued and continued and continued until we pulled right up to the condo in Snowmass where Corky was waiting. Bruno had rented the condo next door. He was so embarrassed, he didn't want to look anyone in the eye. So Holly and I took full advantage.
Wait, Holly and I?
Oh, well, it says.
Is that what I wrote?
Yes, sorry. So Corky and I took full advantage and teased the heck out of him. "Whimpy Pants, Whimpy Pants, oh, Whimpy Pants." Bruno was known to complain a lot about the particular marketing trick of using $9.99
I mean, I don't like that either.
instead of $10.
$10. I mean, come on, give me a break.
Yeah,
you know?
right. As if they're fooling
But
anybody.
Bruno, he complained like you couldn't believe.
He
about
made
it.
such a big deal about it. "I refuse to pay $9.99 for anything," as he hands $10 to the gas station receptionist. "Here's $10. Keep the darn change." This is so dishonest. Bruno did have his pet peeves, you know. We were planning on going skiing the next morning, and Bruno wanted to know what time we should meet at the ski lift. Still steeped in his teasing mode, Corky responded, "How about 7:59? Another memorable complaint I will never forget is when we took Bruno to a Moroccan restaurant where they didn't have any eating utensils. Bruno made such a big fuss, but the restaurant managers weren't able to find any forks. So instead of eating the way one eats in these places, Bruno took off his belt and started using his belt buckle like a spoon with a long leather strap attached, which he had to constantly take note that it wasn't getting all up in his food and then flying about because, as he explained, "I refuse to eat with my hands. That would look just too ridiculous. That's for Whimpy Pants." And he continued eating with his belt buckle. That evening, we were to meet with our dear friends, the Cavans, for cocktails and hors d'oeuvres. They lived right on the mountain near the lift in a beautiful ski-in, ski-out home on Bridge Lane. Bob and Ruth walked down and up the mountain every morning and evening from their home to their restaurant in Snowmass Village, Chez Grand-Mère. Both Bob Cavan and Ruth offered to come down to Snowmass Village and pick all of us up and bring us to their home at the very top of Bridge Lane. I said, yes, that would be great. Bruno said, "What? Holly? Are we Whimpy Pants? These guys are older than the hills. We surely could keep up with them." "Well," I said, I think it's already been established around here who is the Whimpy Pants, but sure, we could go for it. Not even halfway up, Bruno was gasping and huffing and puffing for air. He could hardly speak. I said, I'm going to just knock on any door
But the
and
Cavans,
call Bob.
The Cavans just had walked ahead. They were gone.
Yeah, they were long
They
gone.
lost us.
They were long gone. I said, I'm going to knock on just any door and call Bob to come down and get us. Bruno, his ego wounded, said, no, 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 we can't do that. He is half our age, and how would that look if we couldn't make it up the hill even once, and not even halfway up? Other than his crowing, he didn't seem to have a problem with me walking over and knocking on someone's door to call Bob and get a ride. Bob got quite a chuckle out of us having to be picked up. Of course, Whimpy Pants spoke up. So glad you came to pick us up, Bob. I was so worried that Holly might not be able to make it. Bob howled, and we all had a good chuckle. And Bob and Ruth and Whimpy Pants and I relaxed by the fire with a nice brandy and lived happily ever after. And that's story time.
Beautiful story time, Holly. Very nice.
And now?
And what's next?
And now we're off to
Now
get my vaccine.
we're getting Holly's getting her vaccine.
Heading down to Northwestern.
And I'm getting mine, of all things, on Friday, but after we do our Zoom and everything on Friday.
Right,
My
that's
second
right.
one.
Yes.
Holly's getting her first one.
Vaccine number 2 for Corky. It's
Yeah,
number
yikes.
1 for
Yeah.
me.
And so there you go. So we're not going to Zoom. Today will be the first time we haven't done it, and as far as I could remember.
97 streams. It'll be our first.
You
but-
guys maybe could email each other and get on a Zoom and have
Sure.
some fun there. You know what? I bet. Oh no, you can't get on my Zoom because I can't let you on.
Right, that's right.
Yeah,
But
but
we'll see
you guys
on
will figure it
Friday.
out.
We'll see you Friday.
We'll see you Friday.
On the Zoom.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Take care. Bye-bye. I just wanted to capture a little bit of this storm. It's surreal. I mean, it's almost apocalyptic for my California friends. You wouldn't believe it. I don't believe it. I live here. Okay, I just wanted to give you a little glimpse of what's going on tonight. I mean, the gusts and the wind and the snow. I mean, if I saw this in a film, I'd say, no, that's not possible. You're not making it realistic. This is pretty wild. Okay. I just wanted to show you. Take care. Okay, so you've got to, I just had to film this. You've got to see this. It's just apocalyptic. I mean, Corky and I have never seen anything like it. It's just...
No, I've shoveled 6 times.
It-
My
it's
neighbor
insane.
shoveled twice, and the street guy across the street came over here and shoveled twice.
But look at the way it's
And it's still like it's never been shoveled.
it's blowing, and it's just it's going crazy. So
So what happened today? I was at the computer trying to get Holly an appointment for her vaccination because they said she could get one at Northwestern. But every time one thing showed up, I would click on it and it disappeared. So I sat at the computer for an hour, just constantly going over and over and over, redoing it, so that like twice a minute, I'd be able to see if there was a schedule. Finally, I got her a schedule for tomorrow. Now, because I have one on Friday, I had already made sure the car started and everything was fine. So we decided we were going to make sure we can dig it out. And I couldn't start the car. It was completely dead. Not only was it dead, the headlights came on and we couldn't turn them off. We finally figured out how to turn them off. And then it started making this noise. the battery was totally, completely dead, but it was going like the car was trying to
Like
start.
It was possessed.
It was horrible, and then it started clicking, and we couldn't stop it. And we called a tow truck, and the tow truck had to cancel, and so we called another one, and they were going to come tonight. They can't come tonight, so they're going to try in the morning. So, in the meantime, all this stuff is going on, and Louise Frank said she would take Holly to the hospital. I mean, I would yell at Louise for even being anywhere near another person, and now we asked her to help. I mean, this is like crazy, and I don't know what's going to. My second vaccine is on Friday. I don't know that.
Well, hopefully by Friday, but
It's
we
gonna
may have to
happen.
call our friend Gary Sherman, who filmed Poltergeist, and see if he has any
Ideas for us.
ideas for us. Anyway, we just
Anyway, this was an addendum to
would,
our story
share
time.
that. Okay.
An addendum to our story time.
All righty.
Speaking of skiing.
Take care.
I'm like a blind man driving down both sides of the road. I got 9 hours behind me. I got 9 more to go. I'm half asleep at the wheel. I'm half asleep at the wheel, but I'm only half a day I got my foot down to the floorboards. I'm in one car race while my radio is slapping country tunes across my face. I'm half asleep at the wheel. I'm half asleep at the wheel. I'm only half a day I got all my windows open. I got my head out in the wind. I got JC on my dashboard just in case I need a friend. I'm half asleep at the wheel. I'm half asleep at the wheel, but I'm only half a day This coffee just ain't working, but I'll try another cup. My baby were here with me. She know how to keep me up. I'm half asleep at the wheel. I'm half asleep at the wheel, but I'm only half a day these pretzel sticks and bennies. Oh yeah, these pretzel sticks and bennies. That's this part. I wrote this, excuse me, Randy, sorry. I wrote this with James Lee Stanley. And this one line that he wrote, these pretzel sticks and bennies, is a drug reference. This was written in the early 70s. I felt a little funny about it, so I tried to change the words for that verse. These pretzel sticks and candy. That just didn't sound right. These pretzel sticks and Gumbies, you know, nothing seemed to work. And so sometimes I would just leave the verse out. And it made me feel so guilty because James Lee wrote that verse. And then a couple of years ago, I get this email from a fan who says, I love that song, Half Asleep at the Wheel. And I especially love that verse where you say, that line where you say, these pretzel sticks at Denny's. These pretzel sticks at Denny's don't give me much relief. I got one eye on the state patrol, the other eye's asleep. I'm half asleep at the wheel. I'm half asleep at the wheel, but I'm only half a day away. Aw, take it, Randy. Heavy, my eyes are killing me. If I don't keep them open, I'll be looking up a tree. I'm half asleep.